Hey, welcome back everyone. It is now June 8th of 2022, and ever since the end of episode 4 of the Obi-Wan Kenobi TV series, a lot of Star Wars fans are now preparing to actually watch episodes 5 and 6, the final 2 episodes remaining of the Kenobi show for now. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way guys, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support. It is greatly appreciated. Now, one thing about the Kenobi series, alright, is that episode 4, since it did debut just a couple of hours ago, a lot of fans have been having a lot of mixed reactions on this episode for multiple reasons. Now, we're going to be going into spoilers, but we also will be going into things that you did not know about the episode, all thanks to writer Joby Harold tuning in, and of course Deborah Chow, the director, really revealing more about everything that happened with that actual episode, and things that the fans did not know. Now, on top of this, we already know that everything related to Disney and Lucasfilm right now is that they are working on a handful of Star Wars projects. Ewan McGregor, I don't know if you guys knew this, along with Hayden, Christensen, they both signed multi-show contracts. So basically, they will be returning as both Kenobi, Anakin, and Vader in multiple Star Wars projects. We already know that they are expanding the Kenobi series as well, either as a season 2 or as putting out more parts, per se, under the entirety of the Obi-Wan Kenobi title. So Disney's still debating on exactly how that format is going to be handled. Now, moving forward from all of this, alright, what's even all the more exciting has a lot to do with what Joby Harold and Deborah Chow had to say about episode 4 of the Kenobi TV series. So let's get right into that, because they do reveal quite a bit with this episode that a lot of fans really never knew about, and it really kind of gives you a better perspective on things. So on top of all of this, alright, recently both writer Joby Harold and director Deborah Chow went on to discuss the entire episode 4 for the Kenobi TV series to provide fans additional details about the newest chapter. Now, writer Joby Harold went on to explain in the beginning, when we are showcasing both Vader and Kenobi's burn injuries, we wanted to explore a Force connection that the two characters had at the same time that is similar but different to the Force bond that both Rey and Kylo had in the sequel films. This was key to both the characters feeling each other's pain in this scene. We didn't want to make it directly clear to the audience at first and keep it vague, but this is a new Force connection type that both Vader and Kenobi share and had while healing in their bacta tanks. So let me just stop right here for a second. Basically, Joby Harold is confirming that they were both feeling each other's pain in this scene. Now, I don't know about you, but that actually is pretty dark. Now, obviously, that was probably the best part of the episode. I'm going to be honest with each and every one of you. That was literally the best part of this very short, mind you, 35-minute episode. I don't know why it was so short, but it was. But that was the best part. The very opening of the show really kind of captured not just myself, but also a lot of Star Wars fans around the world. Now, moving beyond this, alright, this is where director Deborah Chow begins to reveal more, and she began to talk about one sequence that takes place on Fortress Inquisitorius, where she goes on to explain, when Kenobi discovers the tomb showing many Force sensitives and Jedi encased in here, we wanted to take some key characters from Star Wars legends that you may have spotted and didn't know about, and if you look hard, you may be able to make the connection. I won't go into detail who they are, as we have more explaining to do for that, but we had discussed this with George Lucas on set behind the scenes to use some of the Legends characters to place inside of the tomb. Writer Joby Harold began to talk about more of this related to Vader, when Vader, of course, is entering into the end of the episode, stating, we had revised the helmet a bit for this episode to really match it up and make it more close to how it appeared in A New Hope. You will notice that we used a couple of different helmets in different shots in the entirety of the series up until now, where we really wanted to give fans the New Hope style. We wanted to make this episode as an homage to A New Hope when Ben Kenobi is coming in to help Luke, Han, and Leia. This entire episode was a dedication to that film by George that we are so appreciative of. We had James Earl Jones come in, and he was working with the script, and didn't really like the dialogue we gave him for this episode. Believe it or not, James actually improvised some dialogue in the latest episode when he is confronting Reva in that scene. All the dialogue by Vader was improv by Mr. Jones, and he did a phenomenal job, I can say that much. Now let me just stop right here for a second. Now, I find it very interesting about the whole tomb thing, of how there are some Legends characters pretty much encased in there that we're currently unaware of. You know, I'm not quite sure if they're minor Legends characters or major ones. I couldn't really spot any major Legends characters per se, so it's sounding like these are minor Star Wars Legends characters in the tombs that are actually within the fortress. Now, the fortress, in case you guys didn't know, alright, this is going to be a very important factor in the rest of the Kenobi series for episodes 4 and 5, or should I say 5 and 6. So 4 is really setting up pretty much, you know, everything of what's going to happen between both Vader and Kenobi, as Joby Harold teased a couple of days ago, that episode 4 is going to set up the Battle of the Century. Alright, so episode 4 is setting that up. So, on top of all of this, alright, this is where things begin to pick up quite a bit, is that he goes on to say that James Earl Jones really wanted to make sure that Vader was going to be very angry in this episode against Reva to create a form of tension, and that's why we began to extend the scene to where Vader is lifting her, getting close to destroying her before letting her go. Deborah Chow then revealed something big, stating, "We wanted to actually take heavy inspiration from Rogue One, a Star Wars story, for the entire episode. We had many of the creators from Rogue One work on the episode to help us with the return of Vader's bacta tank. Originally, we had more Vader screen time in this episode, but we needed, of course, to end up cutting that, as we wanted to focus more so on Kenobi, Leia, Reva, and Tala." So, let me just say one thing here, is that I think that might have been the one big piece of criticism about Vader, you know, being in it for literally like a minute and a half, if that. I get it that we got a lot of him in the last episode, I get that. But at the end of the day, right, this entire show is being marketed as Kenobi and Vader's story, and it still is. But episode 4 really, you know, kind of took away from that to a degree. They really did. Now, obviously, I don't know how you guys feel about Reva in this episode. Did you like her in this episode? Did you dislike her? I mean, it's a very, you know, interesting topic, because there's a lot of fans out there that have mixed reactions on that character portrayed by Moses Ingram. Alright, I will say that at times her acting to me is just really, you know, off and really annoying, but there's other times where the acting is pretty on point and she does pretty good. So it's a very, you know, on and off character for me. I really don't know what to say about this character yet, but overall, you know, I think it's pretty clear that everything related to Kenobi and Vader, alright, is the important part of episodes 5 and 6, as Joby hinted at a couple of days ago, that episode 4 is going to set all of that up. So that's going to be a very big thing. You know, I think that everything related to that is really going to set a lot of fans, you know, in pure excitement of what's about to come for the Battle of the Century. Again, I mean, at the end of the day, this is a Kenobi series, and they want to focus more so on Kenobi. I get that. So overall, guys, you know, drop a comment below. Let me know what you guys have to say about this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.